Like, come on now. This is how a gun is supposed to fucking shoot. Let's go, fucking Scar. Let's go, baby. My whole team's there and they can't shoot this motherfucker. Shoot this motherfucker. This guy just got like a fucking 12 on. Fucking cock block from the quad. Oh, give me the quad, baby. Oh. Woo, that was clean as hell. How did we get here? When I used to know you so well. Yeah, 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 yeah. How did we get here? I think I know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God fucking damn it. With a corncob pipe and a button nose, and I blast my fucking teeth. Oh, 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 oh! Let me get that quad, baby! Yeah, it's a 5-on!
A soothing voice to talk to.
A soothing voice. Ain't nothing soothing about your fucking voice. Your voice is about as soothing as a fucking rock in my shoe. Don't worry, boys. I went and got some fucking lasagna. Oof. Hey, get the. Hey, I'm getting pecked to death. No. Guy named Edgar Allan Poop. Ooh, baby, get the quads. Oh. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. Yeah. 90 points, baby, motherfucker. You know what that means? Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. One more point, boys. One more point. Let's count them down. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So, quick note before we get into this video, but yeah, I just wanted to take a second and explain why this video took so long. And to try to put it simply, it took so long because of the old way that I used to do my videos, like the old template, I guess you could say. It's essentially the same thing I did with all of my Road to Damascus and most of my Road to Obsidian videos. I would record the entire process and then, you know, go through all the footage and cut out all the highlights, so to speak, and then just compile them all in a video, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And while I did like how these videos turned out, there was two main issues with them. For one, they took a lot of time, and I'm not complaining about putting the work in. It's just going through 10 to 15 hours of footage obviously takes a lot of time, but it more so boils down to not being efficient with that time. I'm not good with time management as it is, and add to that I do everything for this channel by myself, and it just becomes a complete mess. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in a race with anybody either. I'm starting to realize that I could better utilize my time, or at least utilize it more efficiently. And two, storing the footage takes up a lot of space. Now I know people are just going to tell me to get a 900 terabyte solid state drive and call it a day and stop complaining, but that's just stupid. And again, it comes down to being efficient. But for example, all of the Scar footage that I recorded ended up being around 150 gigabytes. And keep in mind, this is like the average amount of space that just one weapon takes up. So if you're like me and you're like 3 or 4 weapons behind, the space on your hard drive starts to go pretty quick. It used to be somewhat helpful because when my hard drives would get full, that would be like my incentive to finish a video so that I can clear up space to record a new video. But again, that method just wasn't really efficient. So for the future, unless heavily requested, I'm just gonna go with the new method of making videos, or making these videos. For this and the Odin and the AK or whatever else I have previously recorded, I'm still going to go through and use some of the footage, but for the most part, I'm going to transition them into the new method or template, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the Obsidian Scar, like I said, this video is long overdue. I've had this thing done since like the first week of September. So with that being said, obviously my experience with this gun isn't fresh in my head, but you know, I do remember most of it. And you know, starting off with the Scar, it was a nice change from like the M13 and the Kilo, because this thing is a one hit in hardcore. And seeing as how I pretty much exclusively play hardcore, this is like music to my ears. However, by the end of the grind, I realized a couple things that I didn't like about this thing. First off, the highest capacity mag that this thing can get is a 30 round mag, which which doesn't sound too bad for it being a one-shot, but being a one-hit kill with a 30-round mag, you're just better off using it as a semi-auto instead of full auto. But I prefer to use it as a full auto, and the issue there is that, again, it only has a 30-round mag, and even though the fire rate is kind of slow, it still empties pretty quick. And yeah, just at the end of the day, the 30-round mag just wasn't enough, at least not for me. And the other issue was that this gun just felt boring. Like, it felt like there was nothing to it. It felt like there was like a weird mixture of there not being enough attachments and not being enough interesting attachments, if that makes sense. It's not a bad gun necessarily, it's just a boring gun, and in this game and pretty much any other game, I feel like if a gun's not noticeably either fun or broken, there's really no point in using just, you know, a mediocre weapon. But yeah, here's the Obsidian Scar. I do have a couple attachments on it. I don't think anything that, you know, greatly changes its appearance aside from my little tiger charm. But yeah, as always, I had two class setups for this, one being a mobile class setup and the other being a more precision-based class setup. The class you're seeing now is obviously my mobile class, you know, running and sliding and jumping around corners. And for the attachments we have on this, for the barrel, we have the Forged Tac CQC Pro, which gives us ADS speed and movement speed. We have the 5 megawatt laser, not so much for hip fire accuracy, but more so for the sprint to fire speed. We have the F-Tac collapsible stock, which again gives us an increase in movement speed and ADS speed. The 30-round mag, because again, it's definitely needed on this weapon, and sleight of hand, because even though we have the highest capacity mag, like I said, it still empties pretty quick, and we reload pretty often, so sleight of hand definitely helps with that. My secondary class is this precision-based class, which is more so for hard scoping down lanes and pretty much just waiting for enemies to walk in your line of sight. For the barrel, we have the Forged Tac 20-inch LB, gives us an increase in damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Since I play hardcore, the damage range isn't really that necessary. Bullet velocity does help, but we more so are looking for recoil control because this thing, it's not terrible with recoil, but it can definitely use some help. Next, we have the Tac laser for an increase in ADS speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. And pretty much like always, aim walking steadiness is more so an icing on the cake. We use the GI mini reflex because again, this class is based on precision, and while the iron sights on this aren't terrible, I'd prefer a sight of some kind, and I felt like anything bigger would have just been overkill. Maybe the holographic sight, but we just went with the red dot instead. Again, we used the 30-round mag because this gun without it is just kind of pointless. But instead of using sleight of hand, we use the rubberized grip tape for, again, an increase in recoil control. And yeah, that does it for the two classes. I feel like at first I used the mobile class more often than the precision class, but after getting sick of the mag size and having to reload so often, I just decided to switch to the precision class and, you know, just hard scope down lanes and hide behind cover, which is another reason I didn't need sleight of hand, because with the mobile class, I'd have to reload almost in the middle of gunfights, whereas with the precision class, I'm hiding behind cover, I can duck and safely get the reload off, at least for the most part. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're going for the Obsidian Scar, hopefully these classes could help you out in any way. Again, when grinding these camos, I mainly play hardcore, unless it's like a melee weapon or a sniper. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Again, I apologize for the wait, although I doubt at this point anybody even cares to see Obsidian weapons, especially the Obsidian Scar. But either way, the rest of the Obsidian guns are on their way. Whether or not they'll be done before Cold War is beyond me, but I'm definitely going to try. But as always, if you're new here or haven't yet already, don't forget to hit subscribe with the bell notification so you know when I upload new content. Like I just said, we still have a handful of Obsidian weapons to do. The Cold War betas start this weekend and next weekend, so there will definitely be more content on that. And then obviously when Cold War drops, we're going to go ahead and do that camo grind as well. If by any chance you'd like to watch me grind these camos live, I stream over on Twitch. The link will be in the description, as well as my Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and whatever else. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll play 7X. Thank you for watching. Now get off me.